Hello, friends and fans of the Brazilian national team. Today we're going to talk about one of the most painful moments in Brazilian football history, the 7-1 defeat to Germany in the 2014 World Cup semi-finals. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the iconic moments from our Brazilian national team. The 2014 World Cup came with high expectations. After all, Brazil was hosting the tournament, and the dream of winning the sixth title on home soil was huge. However, from the beginning, it was clear that the Brazilian squad of 2014 didn't have the same technical quality as the legendary teams of the past. Many players were questioned, and despite having Neymar as the rising star, the team didn't inspire the same confidence as previous generations. Still, one of the reasons for optimism was coach Luiz Felipe Scolari, or Felipao, who had led Brazil to the World Cup title in 2002. The hope was that, with his experience, he could guide the team to another victory. But this squad didn't bring the excitement of former World Cup teams. Plus, Brazil hadn't played in the qualifiers since they were the host nation, so there was no solid way to evaluate the team's performance ahead of the tournament. The 3-0 win over Spain in the 2013 Confederations Cup final brought new hope. A packed Maracanã Stadium, with Brazil playing fiercely and beating the reigning world champions, reignited optimism. Many believed that despite the technical limitations, Brazil might just do well at the World Cup. Once the tournament began, it was evident how much the team depended on Neymar. The young star was carrying the nation's hopes on his shoulders. But tragically, that dependence would come to an abrupt end. In the quarterfinals against Colombia, Neymar suffered a severe injury and was ruled out for the rest of the tournament. The entire country was in shock. Without its key player, how would Brazil face the mighty German team in the semi-finals? The fateful day arrived, July 8, 2014. The stage was set at the Mineiro Stadium in Belo Horizonte. The German team, wearing a kit inspired by Flamengo's colors, was ready for the challenge. Meanwhile, Brazil looked unsettled from the very beginning. What followed was something no one could have predicted. In the 11th minute, Thomas Müller opened the scoring for Germany, and then, the floodgates opened. Brazil looked lost as Germany, with precise, collective, and intense football, scored goal after goal. By the 29th minute, it was already 5-0. The stadium fell silent. Fans were in shock. Cameras captured people crying, unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. In the second half, Germany slowed down but still managed to score 2 more goals. Brazil, already beaten, scored a consolation goal through Oscar, but nothing could change the narrative. The 7-1 thrashing would go down as the darkest day in Brazilian football history. It was a match that will forever be etched in the memory of all Brazilians, not just for the defeat, but for the psychological impact it had on the entire country. A game that profoundly shook national pride and is still remembered as a turning point for Brazilian football. How did you feel on that day? What stands out the most to you about that match? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. And that brings us to the end of this video from the Brazilian national football team Forever channel. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and hit the notification bell to keep up with all the stories, curiosities, and latest news about our national team. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video as we continue this incredible journey through Brazilian football. See you next time.